Okay, chapter 3 discusses good mental health as well as personal identity, the character traits, and your emotions. Lesson 1, good self esteem. Everybody knows the definition of self esteem. Positive self esteem means that you like being who you are, you enjoy being yourself, you understand your flaws, but basically you are who you are and you like being you. Having a good sense of belonging means that you understand the environment for which you live, the family members that you have, and you feel like you belong to these groups of people. Having a sense of purpose means that there are things that you would like to accomplish, there are goals that you have out there that you would like to achieve, and you have a sense of purpose in achieving those goals or simple attainments. Having a positive outlook. The term pessimist and optimist mean a lot when you look at having a positive outlook. A pessimist is someone who always thinks of the negative about things. An optimist is someone who looks at the bright side of things. The term or the phrase looking at the glass as being half empty or half full. Having a positive outlook means that you are an optimist. You look at the glass as being half full. Having self-sufficiency. The term autonomy simply means that you understand your independence within society. You gain autonomy as you grow older, and you're self-sufficient in being the teenager or adult that you're growing up to be. This means that you simply understand your responsibilities that your parents have given you for your age. You are able to go out, and some of you have jobs and are able to get to your jobs on time. You're able to do your homework without somebody having to tell you to do it. You're self-sufficient. You can do things on your own. These are the good character traits. Now, Abraham Maslow was an American psychologist who developed what we call the hierarchy of needs. The term hierarchy means levels, 1 through 5. So as we grow older, or as human beings, we have needs. We have basic needs. And our most basic needs are the physical need, the emotional need, the need to feel safe and secure within our environments, the need to belong, the need to be loved, to feel love and also give love, the need to feel recognized. Everybody wants to have a pat on the back or have someone say, job well done. And also the need to reach goals or attain things. According to Abraham Maslow, our physical need is that need for water, food. You can only live for 14 days without food and only 3 days without water, so 72 hours. We also have a need to feel safe and secure in the environments for which we live, the environments that we go to, simply coming to school every day. We have to feel a sense of safety when we get here. We have our gates outside, and those gates make us feel secure because when something happens, they close those gates. And now we have the locks on our building doors. When they lock those doors, no one person without a key or an access code can get in. So we have to feel safe in the environments for which we commingle. Also in our homes, most of you have a security system, right? Yeah. Yes. And with that security system, at night we set the code for that security system, or you guys set the code for your security system, and you feel safe inside your homes, correct?
Yes.
Also, we have to feel a sense of safety in the places for which we travel, getting on planes, going through TSA, having people check you. You feel a sense of safety now with getting on a plane and going different places. Feeling safe in going shopping, going to malls, going to the movies, That sense of safety sometimes comes down when different things happens or attacks, terrorist things that may have happened. You may not feel as safe, but generally we feel safe when we go to the different places that we go to or mingle in. We also have a sense of belonging. Everybody, according to Abraham Maslow, needs to feel loved. You need to feel loved. This love, this sense of belonging or this need starts in utero. Does everybody know what utero is? No. Utero means inside the uterus. Inside the uterus. When you were babies about to be born, your mothers, you felt a sense of love prior to actually being born. When she would rub her belly, sing, and talk to you, that sense of love started then. You had a sense of or a need to be loved. Now, unfortunately, many, many years ago, babies who were born and given up for adoption, that this particular need wasn't being met because once they were given up for adoption, a lot of them lived in it looked like an asylum kind of, but they were orphanages with the gray walls or green walls, beds in rows. So what would happen is a nursemaid would come in and nurse these babies. She would give them their bottle, diaper them, and put them back down. So there was no cuddling or cooing with the baby. So unfortunately, that need for love wasn't being met. And these children, unfortunately, many of them did not thrive. And thrive means they did not live and grow. They didn't grow, which meant they didn't live. So unfortunately, a lot of them passed away because this particular need, according to Abraham Maslow, wasn't being met, the need to be loved. We also have a need to actually give love. Everybody wants to give love to someone else because you want to receive it. So again, according to Abraham Maslow, this is one of our most basic needs, the need to belong, the need to feel love, and the need to give love. The need to feel recognized. Everybody in this room, all of us want to have a sense of someone saying, you did a good job, or you look nice today, or how was your day? Did you have a good day? Great. Tell me about it. Everybody wants recognition. When you go out and some of you have your recitals, you go out and accomplish things with your art, you would like for people to look at your accomplishment and say, he or she did a great job. Everybody has that need to feel or that need to be recognized. Everybody, again, wants a pat on the back. According to Abraham Maslow, our final or our need for reaching potential. Everybody has a goal. We talked about goals last week, and everybody knows a goal is something you would like to accomplish. And we have those short-term goals and those long-term goals. And everyone in this room has a desire to reach their full potential. Some of us may not in some of the things that we set out to achieve. However, we go out and we do other things. So that may not be what we consider our potential. This other thing may be something that you would like to reach or a goal that you would reach, that you're better at. So all of us have something that we would like to do. Even the people that you might see on the street that look like bombs or like they may be homeless, those people at some point in time did have something they would have liked to accomplish. Some of them actually did accomplish it and then unfortunately fell by the wayside. So everybody that lives in this world, every human being has a need to reach their full potential. And those are the most basic needs according to Abraham Maslow. Again, he's an American psychologist who developed the hierarchy of needs. Personality. Personality is that thing or those things that make us who we are. Those are the things that make us unique, make us different from the person that we're standing next to, the person that we're sitting next to. Even identical twins have different personalities. Your personality is influenced by three things: your heredity, your environment, and your behavior. Heredity is simply what it is. It comes from your parents. your hair color, your eye color, your temperament, even your intellectual abilities. All of those things come from your parents, your height, your weight. All of those things are part of your heredity, and they come from your mom and dad and their moms and dads before them. Before them, before them. Your environment is also a big influence on your personality. Where you live, where you go to school, where you attend church, the neighborhood again that you live in, the activities that are inside the neighborhood that you live in, the activities that you go out or the things that you like to go out and do, all are influences on your personality. For example, your neighborhood, so to speak. Your neighborhood, if you live in a neighborhood that is uh, kind of has a mass of different heritages, you kind of tend to be influenced by all of those different heritages or races or backgrounds. Your family members are part of your environment. Your friends, brothers and sisters have a big influence on each other's personalities. Um, you'll find that younger and older siblings, the older sibling may be sitting down eating the type of cereal, and the younger sibling would like to do the same thing the older sibling is doing. So that has a direct influence on that younger sibling. Sports. Younger siblings may want to do the same sport that an older sibling is doing. You like to do some of the same things that your parents do. They're influencing you, or they have an influence, a direct influence on your personality. Um, and that older and younger sibling, that's an example of modeling. We also model, believe it or not, our parents. We model their behavior. My son, who's 2 years old right now, he models not only me, but also my husband. My husband more so now than anybody. So anything that my husband does, he'll walk behind him and do the same thing. Anything that he says, he'll walk behind him and say the same thing. Also, your behavior has an influence on your personality. You have the most control over this. You don't have very much control over the neighborhood that you live in or the family members that you have. You don't have very much control over you don't have any control over your heredity. But your behavior, this one you have direct control over. Your personality, your behavior is your parents start to influence it at a very early age. They would like for you to do certain things a certain way. But at your age now, behavior is totally your control. It is totally your control. And the way you behave has a direct influence on the decisions that you make. We talked about decision making last week or a couple of weeks ago, and I would like you to know that behavior, we would like to see positive behavior, but unfortunately sometimes we see negative behavior. Your parents can have an influence on that negative behavior in that they can correct it by doing certain things or taking away certain things or not giving you certain things. But you, as a young adult, now have total control over your behavior. Good character traits. We talked about these as well, so I'm not going to go over them very much. But the good character traits are trustworthiness, meaning that you are trustable. People trust you and believe that you are trustworthy. Another good character trait is respect. Respect is simply respect. You give it, you get it. You don't give it, you don't get it. Okay? Responsibility. You gain it again as you get older. Right now you have a little responsibility. As you get older, you'll get more responsibility. Fairness. Most of us have heard the term, it comes in October, the fair. But fairness is something that should be given to everyone. Everybody should be treated equally. And caring for other people, being empathetic and sympathetic towards other people's feelings or what they may be going through. And citizenship. being a good citizen around your neighborhood, around the school that you go to, picking up a piece of trash is being a good citizen. Another person's books may fall down and you help them pick them up. That's being a good citizen or showing citizenship. And when you display good character traits, it shows that you have integrity. Emotions. Emotions. We deal with so many emotions every day because we deal with so many people every day. Emotions are those things or the feelings that we have towards different things, and we express and feel so many different ones throughout the course of a day. Some examples of emotions: definitely anger, fear, love, sadness, happiness, and even guilt. Sometimes is an emotion that we feel, especially when we haven't been fair to another person. Our hormones are directly influences our emotions. Our hormones can make us feel some of these emotions in an extreme way, like sadness or happiness. We have a hormone called serotonin, and that hormone serotonin has a direct influence on our emotions or the way that we're feeling. We have to be careful though with specifically one emotion, sadness. When we feel that emotion so extreme, it can lead to a mental disorder called depression. It's important for us to understand emotions or the way that we're feeling, how long we've been feeling that emotion, and if we're feeling that emotion in an extreme way. We also sometimes have mixed emotions. Sometimes we may feel happy about something and then we may feel sad about it at the same time. And it's okay to feel that way, especially if it's something that we don't necessarily quite understand. But again, it's important for us to be able to identify the emotion that we're feeling and then respond to that emotion in an appropriate way. A lot of times when we feel the emotion anger, we tend to get really extreme with it. And sometimes we can be ugly to other people, unfair, and even nasty. So it's important again to identify what you're feeling, count to 10, and then respond to that emotion that you're feeling in an appropriate way. Any questions about emotions? Dealing with emotions in a positive way. These are some things that we can do to deal with our emotions in a positive way. Look below the surface of your emotion. If you're feeling anger, figure out why you're feeling that anger. Think about what is making you angry. If it's a person, if it's an object, if it's a situation, you need to look below the surface of it to find out why you're feeling this. And sometimes we can eliminate the things that are making us feel this particular extreme emotion. Consider the situation. Will it matter to you tomorrow? A lot of times we make a really big deal out of things that don't even matter. Tomorrow is not important. No one else has thought about it, but we are feeling so extreme about it. So will it matter tomorrow? Ask yourself, does this really matter? Will anybody be thinking about this tomorrow? Will I care about this tomorrow? Probably not. Do not take action until you have considered the consequences, especially again with that anger emotion. A lot of times we react before we think. So think about it and then don't necessarily react, but think about the emotion and see how you can play out things in a more positive way. Because a lot of times when we react, we have to deal with the consequences after, and that's the result of the action that we take because of that emotion. Use positive feelings to inspire yourself. When you're feeling sad, think of the things that make you happy. Think of the things that make you smile. Sometimes sadness just comes. Again, that hormone serotonin can cause that the difference in or that imbalance in your emotions and make you feel sad about things longer than you probably should. So a lot of times we can put ourselves in situations that make us smile or make us happy or make us feel better to relieve ourselves of that negative emotion that we may be feeling. If negative feelings linger, again, you need to see someone or professional and definitely talk to your parents. Sometimes talking to your peers can exacerbate an emotion, and exacerbate means that it makes it bigger. So a lot of times, an adult would be the better person to speak to about an emotion that you're feeling for, especially a negative emotion like sadness or anger, when you're feeling that emotion for an extended period of time. And when I say extended period of time, 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, that's a long time to feel an emotion that's not positive. Managing difficult emotions. We have something called defense mechanisms that we use to deal with certain situations. Handling the fear that we feel, dealing with guilt, and managing our anger. These are things that we will use the defense mechanisms for. And some of the common defense mechanisms are denial, which is not accepting things that are real. A lot of times this happens in a situation where death may occur. If your dog dies, or a person that you like a lot or love a lot, a good friend or family member, sometimes we can say, oh no, that's not true, and not deal with it as reality in the beginning. And that's perfectly fine. That's one of the 5 stages of grief. Escape, running away from your problems. A lot of people who have moved into using substances to help themselves are using the escape defense mechanism, not dealing with things head on, using other things to help them cope with the situations or problems that they have going on. Regression, going to a less difficult time. We see this when a lot of our younger kids, a new sibling comes into the family, they'll regress to wanting to sit in their mom's lap or suck a passy or suck a bottle. Repression, forgetting something on purpose. When we had that horrible first day of school, when everything didn't work out and everybody can remember when all of your books fell down the stairs, we put it in the back of our minds and forgot about it, but everybody else can remember it. Rationalization, making excuses. We do this all the time. When we fail at something or haven't done something, we can make an excuse for why we didn't do it. We're rationalizing. Compensation, making up for flaws. Sometimes parents who don't live in the same home, the one that you don't live with, they compensate for not being there by buying you things. So that's compensation. Projection, blaming someone else. It wasn't me, it was her. It wasn't me, it was him. When in actuality, it was you. Any questions about the defense mechanisms and chapter 3?